As the search begins for a new federal leader to replace Justin Trudeau, the conversation has turned to the West and how the Liberals might fare in BC.
I think there's still very much hope for the Liberal Party in British Columbia.
The Liberals and Conservatives each hold 14 federal seats in BC, the NDP 13 and the Greens 1. But in the wake of a hotly contested provincial election, which saw the BC NDP barely squeak out a win over the BC Conservatives, and with federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre paying frequent visits to the province, this strategist and longtime Liberal faithful believes the party's hopes hang on strong messaging around fundamental issues like the economy.
Paying attention to the everyday needs of British Columbians and avoiding this sort of very ideological, very polarizing, very toxic kind of politics that we're seeing from Poilievre.
Two prominent BC politicians are said to be preparing leadership bids. Federal Energy Minister Jonathan Wilkinson and former Premier Christy Clark, who has been learning French in preparation.
It's funny, some people like to call her a right-winger, other people want to call her a left-winger, and usually it means that you're somewhere near the center.
Vikram Bajwa, a longtime federal Liberal, is also planning to run. BC NDP Premier David Eby, meanwhile, weighed in on what it will take for the Liberals to make traction in BC.
I think it's vital for parties that want to be successful in BC that they recognize that BC needs to be treated at least equally to the other provinces in Canada with respect to funding and programs and initiatives.
Katie Fray has held the Vancouver Centre seat for the Liberals since 1993, making her the longest-serving woman MP. She intends to run again.
Liberals have never, ever been very popular in British Columbia, except in the urban areas. However, it's interesting to note that under Justin Trudeau, the Liberals had the biggest showing they've ever had.
Of the 14 Liberal MPs in BC, 3 have announced they're not running again: Ken Hardy, Carla Quattro, and Joyce Murray. Some MPs in BC could base their decision on who will be leading their party into the next election. Katie DeRosa, CBC News, Victoria.